Today on JTV, we're going to make you an expert in color. Because Gretchen Sell, the Director of Education for Design Master Color Tool, is in the house. Gretchen, thanks for coming.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So today, Gretchen has arrangements she's created that are going to allow you to master the art of color. So I'm really excited today because one of my best friends and one of my closest business associates, and also a big mentor for me too, is Gretchen Sell, the Director of Education from Design Master. We used to work together.
Yes, we did.
For a long time at John Henry, and you taught me a lot that I know about flowers. And now you are like the color guru. So you're kind of leading us, and we talk a lot. And when I asked you about this, you had the opportunity to come today.
Yes.
So we wanted to have you on here and kind of tell us a little bit about Design Master and their focus.
Well, as designers, we know how essential color is in our business. And it always is good either to be reminded, or those who are just learning, to be exposed to what color can really do for your business and the stories that it can tell.
I've always found that, everybody sells by color. It doesn't matter if you're going into a discount store or if you're going into a really high-end retailer, that people sell by color. Even in the grocery store, I tell people that, the red apples are together, the oranges are together, and they're blocked off in color to entice you. And I think we don't pay enough attention to color. We have pretty flowers, but putting them together in the right color form is really important.
And sometimes it feels innate to us, and learning about the relationships of colors gives us a little bit more validation of why we do what we do sometimes. You know how you might just pull a combination together and like it because it's pretty, but when you study color and actually see the relationships behind the relationships behind it all, you start to say, oh wow, there's a total reason behind it. And it's kind of cool to get that information too.
Because then you can almost play with it, because it's like, okay, I want people to be excited, let's throw some complementary colors out there. Or I want them to feel more comfortable and at home, so let's do analogous. And even the fact that you can calm down, I talk about calming down the bridezilla by using classic colors, because those classic monochromatic tones keep things kind of calm down too. So you have those different opportunities.
Exactly.
So you built some stuff for us today.
Yeah. I thought I'd kind of discuss what the relationships a certain color has throughout a spectrum by how it gets paired with different colors. So I put together an idea board showing some inspirations for wedding particularly, and we're going to follow the color pink through several different palettes and how that hue of pink changes with the relationships the colors are next to, and kind of creates a different mood, a different story.
Okay.
It's just fun.
Well, and when we used to work on the John Henry stuff together, we would sit down, and I can remember this, that as designers we would be there and you'd be in charge and you'd be pulling out your sheets and showing us. And that's gravitated now for special event industries for inspiration boards, where they've created something that's going to set the mood and tell the story for their client. And that's what you created. And these are magnificent. So we started with pink. You went with pink today.
Pink.
Okay.
And a lot of brides are starting to do this nowadays too. It wasn't something that was done earlier in our careers, but you're definitely seeing more of it done. You're seeing a lot of it done on the internet and a lot of inspiration being exchanged. But I think when you have a big project for yourself, it's a great way to get inspired and
keep you on
track. Exactly.
Yeah, keep you on track.
So we started, this particular spread is pink and platinum, or pink and pewter, which focuses on the monochromatic, and the simplicity of it actually brings a bit of sophistication to it.
Okay.
And it uses a value of the pink, and well, pink is a value to begin with, a value of the hue red.
It's red with white added to it.
Right.
Okay.
But it's more of a blush pink, kind of a soft pink, and paired with the different pewters. Our black chrome Modern Metals product is a great color into here. Perfect Pink is a good blending hue with this as well.
And these are Design Master colors.
Yes.
Awesome. That's perfect. Okay, so these are, and that's the great part about it, because what you've done is you've brought these essential colors and put them at our disposal as designers, because we have your entire color palette to work with.
Right.
You brought your color palette today too, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, just the fact that you have that much stuff. Let's just show them inside there.
There's over 75 different colors and a couple of different product lines, from color tools to our metallic lines, our Just for Flowers, which many of you have enjoyed using, as you told us many times in our website. And then we have a lot of other specialty products that are accessory type of things as well that are listed on the back. But it's our color palette, Essential Color, because we bring you the essential color for your professional needs.
It's perfect. And Design Master, gentle enough to use on flowers, which is awesome.
Yes.
We can spray it on styrofoam. There's just so many things. And I'm amazed because people are always like, I can spray it on my flowers? I can spray it on my styrofoam? Yes, you can.
Well, you know, Jay, Design Master has actually been in the industry almost 50 years. Next year we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. And you think back in that time frame, we didn't have the importation and the expansive varieties that we have available today. And so as designers, we were a little bit more limited in our color palettes. And Mark Addison, a founder of the company, had the foresight from his art experience to know that professional florists needed those tools available to really bring their art to life.
I've almost lived my entire life then with Design Master. So I just had 1 year I didn't have to have Design Master. So that's pretty good. That's a great thing. Okay, so with your pinks, you've created some things for us today to look at, to go with that. So we've got flowers that go along with that, and also applications of the cool color tools that you have as well. Okay, so we're going to start with pink.
Okay.
Okay.
With the monochromatic.
All right. I loved this when I saw you creating out there and that you were stripping the branches, and I was like, what's she doing? And you had the glitter and stuff. And it's so funny because I recently, when I was teaching classes this year, we were doing a lot with glitter. And people are really excited about glitter right now. And I even had some people in the flower shop who were saying, you know, oh, please don't teach people how to glitter, you know, and I was like, oh no, it's cool again. And this is a perfect example of how cool it is.
Surface treatments are rather in vogue, and glitter is one of the most attractive because it does reflect the light and add a little shimmer to things. And when you're working with a monochromatic scheme, as this pink and pewter palette kind of presents, having a little bit of surface interaction is key to having a little contrast with your color. And in this design, we added some of the glitter specifically for that. As you can see, the calla lilies also are enhanced with Design Master pink petunia of our Just for Flowers to give us that very soft blush of pink.
I kind of know, you know, it was very interesting because I was looking at your stuff when I was just kind of going by when you were working on it, and I thought, where did those come from? So you're so good at fooling us with that. It's wonderful, and just the tonalities.
Pink petunia from Just for Flowers. And in the design as well, if you notice, there's just two that have been sprayed with our glue for glitter, and then enhanced with just a little bit of fine iridescent microfine glitter. And just having the two give you a little bit of contrast as well that adds to the excitement of the bouquet. Even though it's somewhat of a soft, sophisticated feel, just that little contrast gives a little bit of spark. We also took the leaf is actually a very bright green.
Okay, like this.
And then just hinting it with the poppy kind of tones it down to blend into the design a little bit more, rather than having this darkness.
Oh, here, I got to try, because you know, with me, it's all about doing it. Okay.
Don't forget to shake.
So, yep. Okay, and what we always talk about, we get it towards the black dot.
That lets you access all the contents of the container.
And I always tell people, if you don't get that black dot, then you're not going to get everything out of there.
That's right.
Okay.
And you're being very good about remembering to spray about 15 inches away. That's
my
the
coach.
Safe application.
It's my spraying coach. And we're just airbrushing it on.
Yes. It just gives you a little bit of a tonality that blends it a little bit more into the design.
Oh, I'm completely stealing this, Gretchen.
All right.
That's amazing.
Well, in the design as well, I used our black chrome to add a little bit of accent to just a glass vase. So using the simple taping technique that you can see on dmcolor.com, I taped it right here and masked the rest of that, and then sprayed it with our black chrome, a really deep pewter modern color right now. And that gives it a nice weight to the container. It's kind of neat because it hides the bottom of the stems, but yet you get to see the lines of the elements above it.
I like the juxtaposition too of having the chrome color and then just that little water line right above there.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's kind of a modern design, and just kind of fits in with the sophistication of this color palette.
I love this technique because we have a JTV webisode about that, where we did modern metals. And we did the same tape technique on the vase so they can see how to do that. And I believe we also did a spiral pattern, and we also did like a checkerboard. And I think we even did a monogram even on a charger. And so you can go back into the JTV U-Bloom archives and check that out for that webisode. And it's also on our Design Master paint DVD as well, so that we've migrated it to there too. So there's a couple places where you can get that DVD with all the paint techniques on it. So that's cool. And now, did you do the same thing with the sticks too?
Oh yes, almost forgot about that. They were rather brown, so I did enhance them a little bit with a brilliant silver just to spark them a little bit before applying the glue for glitter and the microfine glitter, just to give it a little bit of a good base to start from.
Okay, wonderful.
And they're roadside Iana, just kind of clipped and reused.
Just out there, awesome. Okay, so that's our monochromatic scheme.
Yes.
And so then our next, we're gonna take pink to another level then, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about pink with its complement, and that would be the greens. As pink is a tint of red, it's pairing with the complement of red, which are the greens.
Okay. All right. So we'll get set up for that. Now, you know this is going to be my favorite one.
I wonder why.
It has my color. I know. Okay. Yeah.
There we go. This is our complementary combination of pink with the greens. And it can go a couple of different ways. One is being a little bit more with the chartreuse and lime colors that give it a little bit more pop. And then also with the really true green, grass green, and emerald green that can be kind of fun and flirty looking as well. When you're working with complementary colors, even if it's the tints, tones, or shades of the two hues, when you're using those two colors, each color stands out a little bit more because it's direct complement, and it's
more excitement.
More excitement enhances each other's color. It does provide probably the highest degree of contrast amongst each color. So it's kind of it's a fun palette to play with for sure. When you're wanting a statement, complementary is a good way to go.
So olive bright.
Yes, olive bright and fresh green.
Fresh green, okay. Which is and fresh green is?
One of the Just for Flowers.
Okay.
Olive bright is a color tool product, but it's a very light spray, so it's still usable on flowers. And actually on the viburnum that I did in this arrangement, I used olive bright instead of the fresh green because it just pops it a little bit more.
Okay, and that was the white snowball then.
Yes.
And you just got a good contrast because this is the one that you did, and then this is the natural one.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
so that's awesome.
Excellent.
That's beautiful. I love that little bit of white back there. You know, I admittedly have always kind of been a white snob. I try not to add white to arrangements, but I'm noticing that I'm gravitating more towards bringing it in again, and there seems to be like a brightness that goes with it, almost the same way that we see the white background to your inspiration board too.
Yeah,
so
it definitely helps kind of pop some of the colors, and particularly when you apply it as a really soft blended transition like on the hydrangea, it introduces it without being too stark that your eyes are going, whoa, you know?
Well, and it's color tool, and again, safe to use on flowers. You've used it on viburnum. I mean,
exactly.
Viburnum is something everyone's challenged with. Think of it as a very, very delicate flower, but here, beautiful.
Exactly.
And then it's on the container too, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's also on the container. The terracotta pots are just a wonderful blanket for color, and so versatile to use in designs. And I was trying to pull out some of it was kind of a fun and flirty kind of a look that went with the category that we have. And so I used a pink polka dot ribbon that added to that as well, and then the fresh inviting greens with it. So the olive bright was used both on the container and the fresh flowers. That's why we're on a very versatile product.
That's wonderful.
And just a little hand bouquet to coordinate with the look of the flirtiness is this rose and baby's breath bouquet that uses the Esmeralda.
Fun time.
Thank you. Fun time baby's breath.
Yeah.
And it's a new direction that is kind of fun and very attractive to another generation of flower lovers.
Yeah, their coloration is so incredible. I was so impressed because I was talking to Claire the other day there, and I said, I said the color palette, and they used a European color specialist to develop those colors because their color palette is exactly the same color as other foliages. You've used the Solidago inside here too, and it's been green color enhanced, and it has such a natural coloration that it blends so perfectly.
So the color enhancing is not new to the industry, and it's just getting reinvented all the time. And it's a situation that helps florists when you're limited with what you have in the cooler to be able to get what you need by color enhancing it with our product or having the baby's breath already done.
For years people thought about painting and dyeing, and it got kind of a bad rep in our industry. But now we've become essential color experts because of your product and the innovations that you've brought forward with the Just for Flowers, so we can layer on a translucent dye tone, or we can go with the more opaques and we can build those colors up, and even the finishes. So you guys keep delivering for us. That's just such an awesome thing.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. So that's your complementary color scheme. Gretchen, this is so fascinating. I love this. And just the building up of this gives so much valuable information to the people here at UBloom and at JTV. So I want to keep going with this. So we're going to have another webisode about this where we continue to go through Gretchen's book. So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Next week, we'll continue to have fun with flowers and color and Gretchen Sell from Design Master.